Okay, so let me just get up the notes. Where are they? I'm blind. There it is. Okay. So, I'll be honest, the Yone VOD wasn't the best, but the Gragas VOD was decent. We got stuff to cover in both, but not as much in the Yone one. And then I've got like the stuff to cover, but I won't show that yet, so I don't spoil it. 1 second.
Okay.
Let me scroll up. Okay, so I'll move the notes over here and bring the VOD. Okay. So, with the Gragas, and actually no, in general, this session is going to be a really big focus on wave control, wave management, because I feel like it's time to like tunnel down on some more advanced wave management things. Because you've got down the no perma shoving, right? You've got down the got down that, which is great, but there's more to it, you know. And then another theme is your spell usage and stuff like this, but it's all good. We'll get into that. Okay. So just thinking about the matchup, you microed a bit poorly, like in some of the trades. He often got off body slams, which I'll be honest, in this matchup, he should never be allowed to get a body slam off on you, unless it's point blank range and like surprise, but then he should be flipped, you know?
Yeah.
Because in your head, you should already have the mentality to like E and react instantly, so your reaction time goes up, you know? So yeah, you always want to buffer the body slam. Like, this matchup is unplayable for Gragas. Okay, let's keep going. So, I think the first thing, some really important that we talk about, is you're an Urgot main, you know how powerful Urgot is level 1. I don't even know if I told you this last time. I'm not too sure. But on Urgot, you really, really need to communicate that you don't want to leash level 1. Because you know how much you can get off level 1, you know? If you're allowed to cheese. Yeah, so I really think you just tell Jarvan here, because you don't communicate, right? I can't leash. I want to cheese. And if he whines, then yeah, go leash, you know? But most of the time, they'll just say, okay, I'll start the other side of the map, right? Often, though, like, it's actually good if they start leashless, because it hides their path. So you're really doing no harm if he starts on his own, genuinely. The only harm it could do if it's like an echo with a really slow clear and you need to leash. But here, yeah. You lose the ability to get level 1 trade.
If it's a matchup I don't want to level 1
Oh,
cheese,
sure, yeah, sure.
fine?
Yeah, it's fine. But you got to be careful then, they don't cheese you. So it's like, who beats you level 1? Is it Wukong? Wukong kind of beats you level 1?
Well, I think I'm fine walking through the bush every time,
Okay.
but there's some, like, extended trades.
Yeah.
Like, I tried it versus a Fiora once.
Yeah,
and
don't.
I did it the wrong way. Like, I can poke her in lane, but I tried to, like, all-in her immediately.
Oh, yeah. Her all-in's one of the best in the game. So, level 1, so yeah, just be careful about it. But here, that's the general idea, okay? Yeah, leashing if you must. That's the whole point. And communicate otherwise. Okay, so I'm going to give you some more tips, I think. And that comes soon at 2:26. So we're in lane. You know the importance of hitting your Urgot E level 1, right? Really, really important. So I want to give you a tip that the pros do with skill shot accuracy, and really important skill shots.
Sharing screen, by the way.
Shit! Oh my god, I've started the session recording as well. This is such a disaster. No. Actually, it's recording the screen, so that part's good anyway. Sorry, my bad. Basically, yeah, you leash Jarvan. And you're walking up here, so after the leash. So 2:26, you're gonna just miss your E, right? And you know the importance of hitting your Urgot E, right? It's huge. You just one shot in level 1. So what the pros do is they, what a lot of top lane pros do, so Alfari, Whippo, all these people, they have a separate hotkey for normal casting. So they have an indicator, and that raises your accuracy a ton for skill shots. So with the Urgot E, it's so important you hit it, because that's the only way he gets away, to be honest, right? So try that out. Like, I have like shift 1 and I hold it down and then I do it, like, you know. Find something that works for you. I really recommend this. And then you'll have a better indicator to hit it. Otherwise it's a bit coin flippy, you know.
I think I might actually have one of those keybound. I just have never gotten used to.
I really recommend it. I really recommend it. And then once you do, you just never go back, you know. It's nice.
Yeah.
You can like, you don't have to do it for every skill shot, but the really important ones, like your first E, you know.
I know it's also good on his ult.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, really important.
Click on the ult to start dragging out.
Smart casting the ulti is a no IMO. Like that skill shot's quite hard to land, and like be really far away. Yeah, I think learning to play with indicator on a separate cast is really important. Anyway, okay, so just a little tidbit that I don't know if you actively think about is holding your CC until they run away. Is this something you think about?
Maybe sometimes, probably not as much as I should.
So always like your CC should be like the last thing you use when they try to walk away, so you continue to extend the fight, So it might not apply here, right? I think he could actually it's like he's walking up like this, right? So you're so close, you don't need to E straight away, you can auto him, right? And then like save your E until you've autoed him, and then like E him, So it's just little optimizations. It's just Eing when they walk away and to extend the fight rather than to start it. That's the important thing. Okay, so now comes the really big session of wave management, and we're just going to do a bunch of I'll point out a load of wave states, and we'll do a bunch of exercises to discuss what we should have done, and I'll point out as well. So first concept I want you to realize is that a neutral wave state, when it's just even in the mid lane, in the middle of the lane, is one of the worst states in my opinion. You can't really do anything. You can't do anything with a wave state. Like if you push it, it might not crash fully, and they're not going to lose anything if you crash like a one wave push, It's one of the worst behind being frozen on. So what I recommend actually is to stop playing with freezes and slow pushes in mind. Slow pushes are everything top lane. Because every play you make, if you slow push a huge wave, they miss that much more, gold and XP, right? Yeah. So you need to figure out how to generate them, and I can explain to you in a bunch of examples. So yeah, what you'll find in this VOD, and generally in your play, you'll often just clear the wave so that it meets in the middle again, and then nothing's happening. So it's kind of like when you perma-shoved into the tower, but this time now it's just here, Yeah. Yeah, no worries. So we'll do that. And this is quite advanced, but it's fine. I think you're ready. So then two fundamentals here. One is spell usage. You use your spells a lot on the wave. Well, not a lot, but you fall for the trap that a lot of people fall for, which is just using your spells on the wave for no reason. Don't overcomplicate CSing. Every time you use a 12-second cooldown of your minigun, you can't use it on the enemy, right? The amount of windows you'll miss because you're farming with your spells is quite big, and it'll add up, right? Yeah. So I think you just minigun, and do you see how before this, this would slow push into you or something, right? And then you could create a freeze.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, so when you just randomly W, you lose your W cooldown, which is the fundamental spell usage, then you can't use it on him, and you also break the freeze that you could have made.
I think here I was wanting to actually try to get this cannon wave into his tower.
Why?
Because I was practicing the try to crash wave 3 into her tower, I think.
Then we have to commit to that way before this, right? Like when the wave is all the way up here, this doesn't look like you want to crash it, right? This is such a far, usually when you're crashing third wave, you're all the way down here. So having that plan beforehand is probably important as well. Here, I thought you were letting it shove into you, which isn't that bad either. But if you suddenly decide here that you want a third wave crash, then it's a bit late in my opinion. Because you're not going to get this in, right? The wave's coming, and it has too far to travel. All good. I thought maybe you wanted to suddenly push and go help Crab, but even then, even if he's frozen on here, you can move first, right? Because he can't go near you. You're just so much stronger at this point in the game. So I'm
not very familiar with the Gragas matchup, so
okay.
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay,
how
so Urgot completely stomps this matchup, right? Basically because in top lane, a lot of his kit and annoyance is body slam, and Urgot can just get body slammed and buffer it and then flip him over, So that forces Gragas to kind of max Q and go AP, and it's just he's still a massive lump for Urgot to beat on. It's not great. So he's got a really weak early game with huge mana issues. So you've got full control.
Okay.
No worries. So 340. Here's just a little thing. This is something I did when I realized. Just turn off your minigun when you're trying to escape. Like here, you should never even be considering trying to turn because your team's coming as well. So just pull them away and try and survive. you'll see you keep your minigun on, you're just walking really slowly away from them, you know? Like, yeah. So it's like turn off your minigun ASAP, so you walk away at normal speed. And then your team smurfs, so it's all good. 436. Okay, so not too much happens now. It's fine, everything works out in the end. No problem. It's a bit of an awkward wave state, because this wave's here. He should TP on this wave. I didn't make a note of it, but he should TP on this wave and stop you from crashing. Did he do that?
No, I think he TP'd to tower.
Okay, so that's a really bad mistake by him. You're chunked. He should TP and just contest this crash.
I think he was waiting for a buy or something.
Yeah, he took forever. Okay, so when this happens, right? Okay, we're gonna assume, and I'm gonna hold you to a higher standard than Elo you're playing in, because you would have been punished here, right? What you got to do here is you got to push slower and then wait for the next wave to come, and it's gonna be in a nicer place, and you can crash it, you know? So wait for this wave.
I see.
Yeah. So instead of crashing this instantly, I hate when the wave's here. It's like impossible to crash, you know?
I think I was trying to get the Jarvan to come up and
help
me shove it in.
Okay, well, if we don't get help, then that's the way we do it. I mean, Scuttle's important too. He can get double Scuttle here. It's way more worth for him to do that.
Yeah.
Getting help like buys time from his clear, so 436, so this is really important. You spend almost 15 seconds browsing the shop. So please, in your recall time, just think about what you need to buy then, okay? And that should be enough time. At least you cut it down significantly, right? But you're spending ages, and it's really illegal. Every time, little things, oh my god, my words. Seconds matter, right? But do you see how long you spent there? Yeah, really bad. Oh, good. So, 519, consistent theme of spell usage. Yeah, so there's more examples. 519, 527, you're using your spells really frequently just to farm. Wait 1 second, it's fine. And I didn't know Urgot's put 2 points in Q. That's really nice, because I guess you have to anyway, and that's a nicer spike early, right?
Yeah, and it also better for harass and better for trying to heal.
Yeah.
To like get CS cannon minions and stuff with it.
Okay, so there's the first spell, right? I didn't even point it out, but we kind of just went over it. Why Q, right? Like, there's absolutely no point. We missed a minion for it.
I think here I was attempting to thin out the wave as fast as I could, because I felt like he was going to crash it into my tower, and I wanted to freeze it.
I think you don't even need to, right? Like, he can't crash it into you. You can just hold it on your own as well, and just your AoE autos like really thin down the wave, right? I think the Q is such an important spell here. Like, you can even use your minigun over the Q if you really want to. But now you use your minigun.
Been overestimating how much Gragas
can do
early.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. But you see it now, right? There's just, he can't do anything. This guy's a lump, right?
In my mind, the way this matchup was gonna go is if I tried to harass him, he was just gonna heal it all back. His passive, so I was trying to just
play with
the
waves.
What I was trying to do this lane was try to stall the wave and wait for him to run out of mana, because he kept auto shoving the lane, so I just attempted to match him.
So the easiest way to force out his mana, is to zone him and then force him to farm with barrels, right? Gragas's mana cost now, even after, especially after since it's nerfed, is 80 mana per barrel, and he's got to farm with that, right? Like, so that's the best way to mana bleed him, is to just position yourself upwards and just force him off, and then he has to farm with Q, you know. But when he's like,
this is a matchup I can be
really aggressive. Yeah, exactly. No worries. So I think, wait 1 second. I don't want to miss my notes, you know. But yeah, I just put a note down. It's really easy to autopilot and use your spells like this. I find myself doing this, and then I have to stop playing because I realize, oh, I'm not actually harassing the enemy. I'm harassing the minions pointlessly. All good. Okay. The next point is wave manipulation and spell usage. So again, you're going to use your minigun. So this isn't the first time, right? You've already done this game. You're going to use the minigun to break a freeze. And if Gragas walks up, like, you could have just denied him with your flip. So we'll keep watching. 1 second, I just got to mute my Discord notifications because really loud. There we go. Okay. So here's your minigun. Do you see how this was a freeze?
Yeah, I should have not damaged that melee minion.
Yeah. But now it's definitely just gone, right? And now this turns into a slow push. So, which is fine. It's not terrible, but a freeze was better in this moment. And then 5... Oh, wait, no, sorry. 1 second. 638. You're gonna lose another freeze opportunity. So we'll keep watching. This is like a full-on wave manipulation thing, because that's the only thing you're like sort of lacking right now. 638.
Although this Gragas did seem fairly intent to hard shove this lane, so I think what I was thinking is, even if it doesn't, it will freeze again because he's going to keep shoving with barrels, because that seemed to be what he was doing over and over.
But
I think that's what was in my mind, at least.
I think we can freeze and then force him to use barrels over and over, right? Like, and then that, I think that's much better. I think he'll actually miss more CS because he's farming with barrels as well. So, like, often we'll let him walk up and just, like, actually alter the wave, which is super illegal. We should never, like, all the time you're positioning like this, you know? When you should be here and he should be back, you know?
Yeah.
Just because he can't do anything like that. 1 second, I just don't want to miss any notes. So let me go back because I missed the opportunity to freeze. And then here's another one. You see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're just not. But like always look for opportunities to freeze. It's so punishing on champions that can't walk up. All good. But do you see how you should be here? And like whenever he does this sort of thing, you should like flip him, you know? So basically,
I guess the sustain isn't enough. I should just
yeah. I mean,
his
sustain,
auto minions.
exactly. His sustains like once every. I can't remember the cooldown, but it's not often, right? It's kind of often, but not that often to the point where you can't poke him out, and then you can just take really insane all-ins, right? You just absolutely stomp him all-ins. Let me see. 758 is the next one. And this is a little opportunity you missed. This isn't actually to do with wave manipulation, but like more of a denial thing. When you push people off of waves and you like, okay, so you flip them here, which is really good. They use their body slam, they use their escape. When you do this, you know he's got no body slam now, right? So you don't let him near. You actually just don't let him near you, because he can't like body slam away, or else you like all in him. So something that I find really important is when you're when he's like and you're full kill pressure, he's gonna still try and get XP by going in bushes and stuff, you know. So what you'll see is he went in the bush. Wait, hang on, what am I talking about? 638. No, 758. Okay, sorry. There we go. He uses E, then walks in the bush. Did you see that E there?
Yeah.
And now he's just here, and he gets the cannon. Oh, he doesn't get the cannon, actually. But I actually still think, though, like, if you're doing this, then you should never even risk that he does get it. You should be standing here, you know? Like, it's just a posturing thing. And this is more of a general thing, I guess. Like, for the entire lane phase, you're too far back. But I guess that's not knowing the limits of Gragas, so now you do. It's fine.
Yeah, I should have known that because he was out of mana, so
yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Exactly. So, 818. This is a really important fundamental, actually. Stopping recalls. Stopping recalls is huge, because every time they recall, they got to channel it for another 8 seconds, and then they miss farm passively, you know, because their minions are dying to other minions. Always go out of your way to stop recalls. Especially if you're still getting XP, they're missing more than that, you know? So he's literally just in this bush, and all you do is throw a Q, when you could just walk in there and deny the recall, you know? Like, he gets a free recall here. He's completely out of mana. He shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
But as a general thing, stopping recalls is really broken. Always go out your way to do it. It's just a bit of effort. Okay. So not too much happens now, I don't think. Oh yeah, you follow the roam, which is fine. It's completely fine. I respect
Maybe
it.
if he didn't have flash, I could have followed up with an ult.
This combo is actually pretty nutty with Jarvan Urgot. All good. So yeah, you crush this. This is fine. Oh, again, actually, this is something I didn't note down, but your waves when you crash take a second longer, put the wave in a comfortable spot, you know? When it's like this, it's just a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just wait for the wave a bit longer. Here's no body slam. But I guess you just want to recall. All good. So just a recall thing, like in the shop. What components do you usually prioritize for Stridebreaker? Usually on champions, whip is the best item from Stridebreaker to build early. Like it's the highest win rate first item spike. So I always prioritize that. What do you think?
I should probably start doing that. I think I end up getting the one that gives movement speed, which
Yeah,
probably is
and attack
optimal.
speed. So I was like, is the move... Because you were telling me move speed's really important, Urgot, which is fair. But I don't know how much that move speed on that little component is compared to, like, an active from a whip, you know? Because you could get whip plus whip plus ruby crystal, which is really good. I think that's probably better than this item.
I think I probably underestimate the whip. I usually forget to use it a lot.
Oh.
Using it more for wave clear and general purposes like that.
Okay, no sweat, no sweat. Just as a little tangent point, we probably miss a minion because of shopping for too slow. That's fine though. 1070. And then here's where a little bit of mechanics come in. You should always be expecting the body slam into you, you know? And always be ready to flip him over. Like, if you flip him over here, he's dead, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely dead. It's a shame. It's just a missed opportunity, I noted. And then... Oh, we're missing this because we were expecting Ivan. Oh, we're missing... Okay, so... I just didn't know if you were like missing these opportunities because you were respecting being weak side because your team's doing dragon, right? Or are you just not seeing them? Which is fine as well, but I need to know because I can only see what you're doing, right? So what's the thought behind it? Because you could flip that body slam, you know?
Trying to remember if I think I had been looking to see where my jungler is more.
Okay, so
I also am probably, a lot of the time if I'm level 8, I will usually try to wait for level 9 before I do something, because this level 9 is so much stronger, and
okay.
I've
It's
had
just
a
if
lot
it's
of
free.
situations where I like engage level 8 and it goes poorly.
Okay.
And I think I should have waited one more level than it
Okay. I mean, I guess it's a general rule, but like sometimes it's just so free, man, right? But that's a decent call if you're looking at where Jarvan is. Because then they want to make a play topside and you're avoiding it, you know? So it's fine. Either way, what worked out was fine. It's just I needed your thought process. So there's another freeze that you could hold. He's gonna... When they put in so little effort to crash the wave, you've always got full control. And you can hold the wave.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't committed to crashing a wave properly. He hasn't walked the wave into the turret, you know? But we're just gonna minigun it again. And even if this doesn't freeze... it at least makes a slow push, which then you could do more off of, you know? You have more time. When you crash a slow push wave, you have more time to roam, you have more time to invade, you have more time to do anything. But yeah. Oh, good.
So trim it, and it would be better to let slow push into me.
Yeah, exactly. Or slow push into him. Either way. It's better than having a neutral wave state, right? Avoid neutral wave states if you can. 11:44. So I've got a note here, but it's quite long, so let me have a read of it. Pushing the wave here versus not. What happens? Okay. Okay, so I think what happens is you're just gonna keep okay, so I feel like you're frustrated that nothing's happening because this lane has been really fucking boring, right? I think you just start perma pushing in and crushing it. And then like neutralizing and crashing it again over and over here. So if you just push it, he's going to get the free farm, you know? We're gaining nothing. We're not creating a lead. So you don't always have to just minigun and like push. Just hold the wave in the mid, right? In the middle. And then he's forced to farm with Q. And then he'll miss minions. There's like little incremental advantages, you know, that you've got to find. But I think
just held it and stood in the bush near him.
Yeah, or just stood right in front of him, you know? Don't even let him walk up. But instead we're going to keep doing this. And then, what rush are we in? where we need to like crash a wave and then recall, because that's what you're gonna do, and then get a Merc Tread spike. Like I don't think this is optimal. We should probably be waiting to create enough gold to buy Stride Breaker now.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just thinking. Let me just make sure I don't miss anything. Yep. So that's what I wanted to point out. Like, a lot of this is just perm pushing again. So for the first 10 minutes, you don't perm push. It's really good. But like it still applies later on. I think there's another wave. I actually want to show you a VOD of one of my games where I use a slow push and I get a lot off of it. But I've got to find the VOD. I don't know which one it is. It'll take me 2 seconds. Don't worry about it. It doesn't have to count towards the time. I think it'll just help you see like the power of it. So we pump crashed another wave. I just wanted to show you that little spree.
I know at this point I definitely can't freeze anymore, but I can slow push.
Yeah.
And I should probably be looking for
Yeah.
that.
I mean, even if you
No.
create something that looks like a freeze, then he's forced to like queue it, maybe miss a minion because he's queuing it for farm, you know. Create any kind of situation that isn't him just free farming. But yeah, slow pushes are really broken. Top lane is all about slow pushes and freezes, but a lot of it's slow pushes. 1325. So you got some clean execution, but it's really important. Oh shoot! Whoops! 1 second. 1341.
Here I actually don't know where I'm TPing to till I TP. 'Cause I'm trying to click on something and I click on this flag and I don't know where I'm TPing to.
Okay, so I think last time we had a session, didn't I say you got to be looking where you're TPing to, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, if this is just a single like something that doesn't happen very often, then that's fine. But you waste a lot of time when you TP because you have no idea what you're running to, you know?
Yeah, I normally know where I'm at. That one was C. I think
Okay.
I thought I clicked on the ward, and then I'm not sure where I'm
Because
TPing.
the reason it strikes me is your camera pans back to you. You press space, and I'm like, oh no, how are you gonna know what to do? You know, like what's going on down here? So always just keep your mouse on where you are. I think that's really important. But then there's really clean execution, so you salvage it. Really, really nice. I love it. I got so fucking cool. Okay. You died, but who cares? You really popped off there. Okay. And then next one will be about roams and when to do them. Because you do a roam in the mid game, which is fine. But I believe we lose quite a bit off of it, and we don't gain much. So we want to minimize what we lose, right? Every time.
Yeah.
Every single time. And then I think, so I'll just skip ahead a little bit. And I want to see how this pans out. So you watch, okay, so you do what a lot of people do. You watch like your teammates making plays, and I can't stand doing that because it tilts me. I have to, if I can't impact it with a TP or a roam or something, then I can't watch it. But up to you.
I usually, if I'm not doing anything else, I don't mind because I can see if people are flashing and stuff.
Okay, no worries. So I think here what's gonna happen is you're gonna roam on a 1-stack crash, right? Can you tell me what's wrong with roaming on a 1-wave crash?
It's gonna be able to insta shove it out.
Yeah. So he's gonna be able to get onto your turret really fast, right? Granted, there's no plates, so you're not gonna lose a huge amount. It's just you're gonna lose a lot of waves, and then you're gonna roam and you're gonna get an assist, right? Which is I know this is hindsight, but there's a real possibility that you get assists when you roam, right? So we don't want to lose like 4 waves to get an assist, like, or risk that's going to happen. So here, just slow push it if you want to roam, right? Slow push it and crash the next wave or the wave after that. But when we do this so fast, we don't give the wave any time to build up.
I see.
Yeah.
I think I was trying to get down to the dragon more quickly, but I guess it makes more sense to, because I know he doesn't have TP.
You can't be everywhere, man. Yeah, you can't be everywhere. Like, I understand. And it's a decent call if you're going to dragon without turret plates, but there's something else. It's not just this, and I'll show you as well. So you get a play, and that's completely fine. They kind of run it down, so this kind of only works. If they all went to dragon, then I don't see this roam working, but it's fine. You get this kill, right? And the big thing that I need you to start having in your mind is when you roam, you need to know how long you have to get back top lane, so you don't miss like 10 billion waves, right? You need to have that in your head. So right here, you should be like, okay, shit, I've got to go straight back top lane, right? This is something I see a lot of people doing that they make a mistake on when they roam. Is they dawdle, right? And they see something potentially happening, and they're like, oh, another play, you know? But it's like a maybe, and it's a really low chance of if it's going to happen. There's no need to like crash this. There's no need to even stay. You're missing so many waves top lane. Do you see how long Gragas has been top lane for, like on your turret? So
now my question here, because this one I was staying mid because I didn't want him to be able to damage the mid turret because of everyone else was backing.
I mean, someone else can just cover mid now, like Jarvan or something. Like I really think you don't want to just lose loads of waves. Like that's really bad for your team overall gold. So someone else can just like, and if it's just one and it's a little bit of harass, like, because he won't even get that much right. He won't take the turret. He won't get that much damage down on your turret. And and the amount of waves, that's the main point, that you lost top lane was huge. But I get it. Mid turret's most important. It's just the waves are very important too. All good. Let me just make sure I don't miss anything. But yeah, you got so you missed all those waves for an assist, right? And if you were to go back and look at the goal graph before and after, it would be like you would have pretty much let Gragas back into the game through that, you know? That's the main important thing. How many
waves did I lose here?
I did not count. 3 probably. It's a while. You're gone for a while, you know? 1, 2. Just two. Two. But still.
So that'd be if no one gets to mid wave, because if I get the mid wave and no one else would have got it, isn't that just kind of like trading the mid wave for the top wave if no one's
okay, that's fine. If there's no one gonna get the mid wave, that's fine.
I think if you look when I stood mid, the Jarvan was at very low health, and I didn't think he could defend the mid.
Wait, he's full HP.
Well, when you go, but he goes into the jungle, and I think he heals a lot more.
Oh,
than I think he will. So if I had known he would have healed that much from the jungle, I probably would have just ran top and.
I feel like you can go top no matter what, though. Like, there's so many people that could cover, right? There's Ashe as well, and there's just a whole lane that nobody's collecting resources from, right? Like, I just think there's too much that you're giving up. It just becomes like what's it worth, right? And I really think these waves are worth way more than like, even if you have to spam ping your team to like cover it, right? Then do that. Just make sure someone's getting it. And then the 1-stack roam leads to them giving them actually a play to Rift Herald top lane, because the turret's so low from being junked. So we recall, and then we get our Stride Breaker. But they got Herald in the meantime, and now they get this turret. So it's a bit of a, you know, you kind of gave up this entire turret for a assist. And it's just like, was it worth it? And generally, roam on a 3-stack wave, I think, is a really good rule. It gives you enough time to go back. But yeah, there's nothing you could do here. All good. You did something really smart. You farmed the golems. That was really nice.
Yeah, and I saw that. I might be going to take this if I...
Because, yeah. If they take it, that's bad, so... You didn't die to the Rift Herald crash and everything like this, so you played this really well. And there's not actually too much after this from the VOD, because the game's almost over, right? And then you just sort of win team fights. I just had minor notes, like really clean execution, using the Stride Breaker dash to get in range. And then they have no damage.
Yeah.
So I was actually contemplating, like, could you have held this Rift Herald? Like, could you have held this? It was a bit shaky, but like, I understand why you didn't. It's just here, well played. It just wasn't even close when you did this. I guess he took turret as well, so who knows. That's Stride Breaker buff?
I think it's because he got...
Not buff, sorry.
hit by the tower shots where I was
Yeah,
like flipping into the tower.
I guess, yeah. Well played, though. And then they just sort of run it down, the team. Wait, hang on, did you not get the turret? That's fine. It doesn't matter. Like, none of this matters now. It was mainly about all the opportunities you had to to create freezes or to create slow pushes. And I just want to put some urgency on you to not neutralize everything, right? You were just, when the wave was in the middle, you were just really hard pushing, and then it would bounce back to the middle again, and then nothing would happen.
Yeah.
It gives you no tempo, no agency. So let's look at the other one. There's less to look at here, but that's fine. It just looked like... Okay, so I guess you're unfamiliar with Gragas, which is quite important you get familiar with. I recommend you just read up his abilities, and stuff like this, like sort of learn how he works, because he's quite a popular pick right now, But you looked really unfamiliar with Yon as well.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen either of these
Yeah.
top and ranked. So.
Okay, that's fine, no worries. I could tell from the gameplay, it's completely fine. Just one thing's really important to note. Yon is incredibly weak early. Yon is like literally loses to almost every single champion that can like push him away level 1, because you know how you could just zone XP and stuff. He has nothing. He's like a Yasuo at level 1. He's like but like probably weaker. It's terrible.
Nice.
Let me have a look. But yeah, like this entire VOD, you were playing really uncharacteristically passive. When you have to bully him, because he does scale. He's one of the best scaling champs in the game, right? So,
yeah.
So let's just skip ahead. Full AD. What do you build into full AD? I just want to make sure you know the best item.
Ninja Tabas.
Okay, not just Ninja Tower. It's a whole legendary, like maybe third item or something like this.
You mean Bramble?
Bramble's decent.
Vest,
I think
Angel.
the best anti-AD item in the game is Death Stance.
Death Stance.
The absolute best item for anti-AD. If you build this, you can't lose against full AD comps. Really, really, really strong. So I recommend our third item. And you said Bramble. I guess it's fine into full AD and a bunch of ult attackers, but in general, go Executioners over Bramble, because you apply such a big AoE physical attack. You apply to everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So a little something.
I usually get Bramble if I want it for the lane, and Executioners if I want it for the team fight.
Sure.
Like, depending on...
Yeah, sure. It's just in the lane, like, in some champions, they don't even have to auto-attack you, so they won't apply Grievous Wounds to themselves, And then it's kind of useless. Like, if you're against an Aatrox, he doesn't even have to auto you. He'll just Q you and stuff like that.
He'll usually get
Okay.
Because the Executioner item is also a lot better than Thornmail.
I agree. Thornmail is really terrible. One of the worst times. It's like 70% gold efficient. It's really bad. Bramble Vest is one of the best items in the game. Thornmail is one of the worst. So never upgrade it. 143. So you cheese him, which is the right thing to do. Yon is awful level 1. You have the entire like playbook you can play for level 1. You can zone him XP, you can cheese him, you can do whatever you want. But something here, you could have popped his flash level 1. And it's really important when you can pop a flash, when you get a huge trade level, and just ward the bush when you're all-inning, because you had to cancel 2 autos, or you would have got 2 more autos off.
Okay.
So he's just AFK. You flipped into the bush, right? And then you got to walk into the bush because you can't see him. If you ward this instantly, you could just auto him. But we probably missed 2 autos.
I don't care about having an award for a jungle gank.
Who cares when he's like pop, when he's pop flash, and you maybe even kill it before flash. Like he's so low if you get 2 more autos in as well.
Yeah.
And then you could probably maybe not 1v2, but like you have full wave control. You cross third, back off. Like it's completely fine as well. So you see wards here. This is really important, right? Something that's underrated. You do this versus ranged champions. If they ward this, then they can get ganked, right? If he's warding, he has got no ward in there. So just ping your jungler. Like literally type to him, free gank top, no ward or something like this. This is a really good tech. I was gonna make a video on this. 1 second. And in my opinion, level 1, you could have just zoned. Look, do you see how far back you're posturing as well? He got a free Q off on a minion. Like you should be here. Look at his HP as well. In general, in these 2 VODs, I don't know if you're focusing so hard on like not perma crashing, or like you're focusing on what I told you, but don't forget to be aggressive when they in, And him pushing up like this is really in. But yeah, you could zone him off.
I think I've been trying to play more passive, a little bit more passive
Yeah. It makes
Levels,
sense.
especially levels 4 through 9.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
really like Urgot into a lot
I
of
agree.
champs.
I agree. I like in it when I play Urgot, like my general mindset is okay. I want to abuse level 1, or level 2, or
Yeah,
whatever, and then after that, I want to wait for level 9, right?
yeah.
So, but you have to abuse level 1 because this level 1's so broken, right? So just zone him from XP. Do whatever you can. Especially if it's his Yone. It's such a weak early, and you need to shut him down early. It's like you're shutting down a Yasuo, you know, without a dash.
Yeah.
So level 1, level 2, I mean. Let's have a look. 354. That was just a really positive note. You had really good wave manipulation. So because you understood 3-wave crash plus helping jungler, you won the jungle matchup. It's really good. And Yon definitely didn't understand it.
Oh yeah, I remember. Is this a decent ward put in it by
So
this wall?
it's okay, but honestly, it won't stop you from having to flash. Also, I prefer to not even bother warding because that's time that you're not pushing the wave. And that's time that increases, like, for how long you're going to ward for, that increases the window that he can gank you, you know? So honestly, I take the risk that he's not going to gank in this time, and I completely shove the wave right now. Right? I really spam auto, but I didn't ward, so this wave is almost dead already, you know?
I
And
think
then,
I've been warding level 2 because I had 2 matches where I got ganked during the pushing in the third wave.
yeah, so maybe
So I think
that's a
it's better.
symptom. You got to ask yourself, are you realizing that you have to push in the third wave too slow, right? Because you can't play around level 2 ganks like consistently. You'll just lose your mind. You'll never be able to play aggressive, you know, because this sort of cheese stuff like happens 1 in every 10 games. You can't play around 1 in every 10 games, you know. So what I actually like to do is just to not ward, and then I get the crash and back off really fast. Here you really smurf. You got third wave crash. You know you're pro over the Yone, and you win the entire jungle matchup. Really, really solid understanding. Or at least I thought you did. Oh, there it is, yeah. By the way, something I've liked doing recently, and something I see a lot of players doing. Let's pretend Hekrum's not here. He's like farming bot crab or something. This is a different game. I've started to like just walking down and CCing the crab for my jungler if they have no CC, and then breaking the shield, you know, and then walking away. Because they love that.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, it's really, really
it
good.
seems like a good thing.
And you win the entire game because of this. And Yone is useless, and Hekrum's flaming Yone 100%. Yeah. So, really important. When you have 1k gold at 3 minutes, there's a really big fundamental. When you get such a big lead this early on, you push this lead, okay? You recall and you TP back. Yeah, and then you hold this freeze with a pickaxe and a refillable pot. And there's nothing Yone can do. There's actually nothing Yone can do. But instead what we do is we stay until we have like 1.8k or something like this. And we've done nothing with our lead. On top of that, we have double buff. Like, the amount of, like, snowball we can generate from this, if we just back and maybe even walk to lane. I prefer to TP, because then you don't miss any minions. But do you understand now, right?
Yeah, I should have. I also missed, but in this matchup, I remember I ended up going into defensive items. And I think it's because they had all AD, and I don't know why, I guess I just decided I wanted to just be very hard for them to ever.
So, if you're only building defensive, you're not building to win, right? So a trap I see people fall into, and I fell into it myself a while ago, when they're full AD or AP, you just keep stacking MR or armor, and then you don't do any damage, and they win, right? So, let the armor that you do build, like Ninja Tab Eyes, be worth more, but don't tunnel on building full armor, you know? Build just core items still. Just build the items that really abuse full AD, like Tab Eye and Death Stance. But don't ruin your build for it. Okay.
Yeah, here I definitely should have backed him.
Yeah, but
held the freeze.
Do you see how you also have double buff?
Yeah, I think I was thinking in my mind I want to abuse for double buff, so I could have done that if I TP'd back.
Yeah, and like here you're not even autoing him, you know? And you're not even getting in range of E, so spacing, like being in range to E is a really important thing that you've got to like develop. We're super passive, right? And this is like uncharacteristic of you, because last time I watched you, you were running in like crazy, you know? But this was definitely a window to do that. And he has flash still, so you could just pop his flash, right? Do something. Generate some kind of lead with his double buffs. Okay, so I needed to go back because I missed something. So here is just like, look at the positioning of your positioning, and then look at his. And you have double buffs and that. And I just needed to emphasize this. So something that's been consistent theme in these past 2 VODs is positioning more aggressive and zoning off of like CSing. And then you get a free cannon, which is super illegal with your start.
Yeah.
All good. And then I put a note to ask you. Are you being this passive because you're tunneling on wave management and you want to create a freeze or something? Like, I don't know. Are you afraid of messing up the wave, like instead of like trading?
I think I was probably trying to let the wave come in, but I've definitely been playing more
Macro,
passive in general because I just prefer to
So
stay with it with double buff, so I can definitely
when we have the wave and we create a freeze like this, because it's kind of in a freeze right now, you know, he's got to walk up. The whole point of it is to generate the lead. So the lead we could generate here is popping his flash. So if we're not taking the opportunity that he has to walk up and using the freeze, then it's pointless, right? So you just got to remember, it's completely fine to set up freezes and all this and be passive like this, but you have to be as aggressive as you can when you can. And that's the whole reason we make the freeze, right? So when they punish it, and that takes priority over the wave and messing up the wave.
Okay.
All good. But I really respect the fact that you're playing more for the wave and stuff like this. This is a good start. It's just you have to mix in. The hard part is balancing being aggressive with managing the wave. It's really hard.
Yeah.
All good. So this little micro thing versus Yon. When he does this, always walk straight. Because I noticed you click around, try and dodge something. Just always walk straight to the shadow and be ready to flip it. Because he always has to go back there, you know? If you do that, you could probably pop his flash. So you're clicking backwards. Just go to the right. You don't get hit by that, and then you flip him.
Excellent.
Yeah. So this happens a second time as well. And then let's keep going. There's a few more timestamps. Okay. Oh yeah, and then basically I wanted to show you that you ended up TPing top anyway, you know? So I think just be a bit more selfish with the TP. Especially when you're a fucking gigantic lead. Because you're smurfing. By the way, I'm holding you to a really high standard, by the way.
That's good.
Yeah. So, like, because you got to a point where I can't give you all the generic stuff, so I have to go quite in depth. And I think it's better for you. So 630. There goes our double buffs. We haven't used it once. Now we've hit level 6, and he's even NCS probably. Oh good. We crush this and then TP back. So yeah, did you see how I said we stayed into 1.8k? Yeah. All good. And then with the lead, we buy tab eyes, which is super illegal. I understand why, but we want to push our lead, you know? We need damage to kill him.
Yeah, I should probably go on. Pickaxe. What can I buy? Pickaxe.
You could whip and ruby crystal again, or whip and fucking longsword. You know, either one.
Does whip give extra AD or just be passive?
I'm actually not sure, but the passive does a lot of damage. It might only give the same. There might be an argument for whip, longsword, pickaxe, longsword, ruby crystal, but I think whip is a really good thing, and it's statistically it's also very good to purchase. Like the active. Say again?
Does it deal like 100 damage or something? 120
I don't know the exact numbers. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's good. It's really good.
I guess I'll start buying it. I usually buy it last or end up buying it when I just have the Stride Breaker.
Yeah, no,
but I'll try buying it early.
It's also a really nice wave color. So 7:43 is the last timestamp, and then I want to show you a clip of something. So I think it's just walk to the E again. Oh, I missed it. Sorry. So if you just walk to the E instead, then he has no counterplay, you know?
So versus Yon always just walk over to the E if it doesn't put you
Pretty
in
much,
a
yeah.
really bad spot.
Exactly, exactly. Because he's always got to go back there eventually, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. And then I just made some notes. That is, read up on Yon, read up on Gragas, because champ 1v1 knowledge is really everything in top lane. And then don't let wave control bog you down. If the enemy team top lane is inting and you can get kills, then you just need to find the balance, you know, like make sure you abuse that. So I'm gonna drag over the notes. And then this is what I'm gonna give you, like a few more things. You seem to have nailed down the TP thing. I'm gonna take your word that you nailed down TPs, as well as just perma pushing in the early game. But now I want you to like do a few other things that are kind of hard to implement. So you might need more time, but that's fine.
Okay.
This is really advanced stuff, like especially with the slow pushes and roams and stuff. So it's fine. And then I'll send you this again, the updated one. So, and I'll also upload it. So yes, I think that's great. Let me just close this, and then I'll try and find a VOD of me abusing the slow push. Go back. Sorry, I just removed my games. Okay, so I think it might be this. Nope. Oh, okay, so this is really important. Do you understand, right? When the wave, so a good rule to note if you're developing a slow push is the slow push will form if your wave is held at the turret for even a second, because then it'll be behind theirs and it'll be closer to your turret, you know? So you can deliberately hold the wave here, rather than neutralizing, you know? Do you see how I did that, rather than just pressing Q and pushing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what I'll do here is I'll be slow pushing. Yeah. And I walk down. And do you see how big that wave is now? Because it's two things. So whatever play happens, either way I can crush a big wave. And I have time. And if we win the play, then he loses so much more than if it was just a neutral wave. Because then I can only crush one wave. So he dies.
So you aren't concerned about the minions you lose from the push, because
No,
if he
no.
dies,
He loses
lose
way
like
more. So
3
have a look.
waves
Have a
or
look.
something.
Do you see how many minions this is now?
Yeah.
Because I stopped. I didn't push it. I didn't neutralize it at the turret. You know, with those 3 minions, I created a slow push. And then look at this. It's huge. And because of this huge wave, now Skarner has to come top.
Yeah.
And then because Skarner comes top, my Trundle gets Dragon. And it's like a huge domino effect of just holding 3 minions.
So just leaving 3 minions alive.
It doesn't even have to be 3. It could be like just
less than what you have on your way, basically.
not even that, but like just making sure your minions like are held here for a second. Yeah. If they're delayed at all.
Because all the reinforcements arrive faster. So
yeah, exactly.
Push faster.
Yeah, exactly. And then this turns into a slow push. So this is something deliberate, and it's really hard to like implement. I'm trying to learn this. This is something I learned from like a really good coach I know. But I just want you to know these like advanced wave management things because they're really powerful. And it's better.
Like set up a slow push before you go down to objectives and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Just full pushing. Okay.
And just slow pushes in general give you time to make plays. That's the main point. Neutral waves, one wave crashes, do nothing. They do not give you any time to do anything. You're just stuck in lane. But yeah, I think you understand that now, right?
Yes.
Cool.
If you have a slow... Here's a question. If you have a slow push and it goes if they don't like do anything to it, if it just crashes and all the minions die because everyone's fighting, does that result in Verwave to start slow pushing into you? Usually?
So it should do, because it's held. Remember the rule: if this wave is held for more than a second, then it will push into you, slow push into you. It becomes a slow push. So that's the rule. For more than 1 second, it doesn't matter if it's a slow push or not, as long as the wave is held there.
Okay. I guess that's good, because then you can, if you don't die, then you can come back up and you'll have a larger wave waiting for you.
Exactly.
Your tower.
But yeah, in general, if the wave if it is a slow push, then it will push back into you. Yeah. Some minions might die, but it's fine. Yeah, there's the start of the slow push again.
Have to add that, because I usually hard push the lanes because it's so easy to do.
Well, like this one?
Yeah, what I usually, like, if I go down to an objective, I usually just clear the wave.
Yeah.
Because I could do it instantly, but I guess I'll start intentionally.
Yeah, this is why I tied in. This is why I tied in spell usage. You know, not just using the spells to AoE the waves. That's really important. Much more control. But yeah. Anything else you want to talk about, by the way?
Check my gameplay here. Use the death stance into. How early do you recommend buying?
Third item, I guess, because Titanic's such a big spike, Stridebreaker's such a big spike. I guess third item's probably best.
Yeah.
What happened to rushing Titanic, by the way? I don't know about the Urgot meta.
You mean why, or
why don't you do it anymore?
Oh, I normally do rush it.
Oh right, in both these VODs you rush Stridebreaker, so.
Well, into ranged or slippery champs, I usually rush Stridebreaker, and I rush Titanic into anything else. So like Gragas, I saw he was going AP Gragas, so I figured I need the. He's not that tanky, so I figure I can like one combo.
I'd actually recommend like your reasoning. Your reasoning's a bit strange into Gragas then, specifically because he has phase rush, right? So that slow from Stridebreaker isn't gonna really do anything. I guess you got the dash.
Yeah, I mainly use it to set up the E, so like Stridebreaker into E.
Okay.
To flip them, and also sometimes I get to maybe Riven. Sometimes I would go that because she's more slippery. But I generally do Titanic into most matchups too.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. It's just weird because I was building Titanic and I hated being on the components, man. Like being on Giant's Belt Ruby Crystal.
Yeah, the components are pretty bad, but the completed item is definitely, I think, his strongest one item spike once it's finished. You deal so much damage with.
Yeah. Okay, I don't actually have too much more to cover. So if you want to just ask anything, feel free. Otherwise, I think that's it. I'll give you the notes now, actually.
Okay. Let me see if they will load. I think last time I wasn't able to get them to...
Oh, really? Oh, you should have said. I could just send them to you.
I was able to see them in the VOD. Let's see if I can...
It's an Excel file, so you need Excel to open it.
I don't have Excel, but I did download a...
If you have an open office program... There's like an... Oh, okay. There's like an open office program you can use to like load them as well. Okay, let me think of how else I can do this. I can also make a Google Sheets, I guess. I'll stop the recording now. There we go.